Hey, what's up? Mrparka here to do another review. My review is going to be for the movie Faces of Schlock, Boobs and Blood Edition. This was sent to me to review, and I heard about it, and I was like, this sounds pretty fun. You know, originally I think it was a limited release that was sold on Massacre Video and stuff, but this is the official release from Independent Entertainment. And let me get into it. This is basically a horror anthology. Of course, it has Ruby Mrparka in it. She's probably the biggest name in here, but maybe besides George Stover. But anyways, it follows 4 short stories, 4 short movies basically, all made by different directors and stuff, and then there's a wraparound story. Basically, the wraparound story is basically just a hostess, and she's telling kind of a story. She's the crypt keeper, but she's more like an Elvira, and her name is Slutrella, I believe. Anyways, she hates every moment of it. You can tell. She's sitting there. She's making little side comments, smart comments. They're pretty funny, pretty clever. And also, the movie has obvious stuff that's not edited out on purpose to make it look cheap. Hence, Schlock. So shockingly shitty. But that's basically what the movies are, and it's firmly tongue in the cheek, and it's self-aware. I do a lot of, self-aware stuff. People need to take into consideration, and it's pretty funny. The wraparound story works well. And the first story is Blood Witch. It opens up with a flashback scene where a lesbian witch is killed, and basically cuts to a woman masturbating on her period. Yeah. Anyways, she brings back this witch and gets her revenge, and it has a decent twist at the end. That one's okay. The next story is Mike Was Here. The name right there is kind of a pun on Shankshaw Redemption. Brooks was here, when he hung himself. Basically, a guy commits suicide in a theater, and he's a ghost, and they keep him employed. And some funny comedy comes in with boogatry, which is bigotry, and boo, they hate ghosts, and they don't want to work in there. Some decent deaths, a couple funny things, It's a decent story. There's a really funny joke in there with some TV dinners. He's like, I do too. I know. It's pretty funny. And there's also a scene in there where a guy has a herpes, and that's a pretty funny scene. And he has XXX in his name. He's a funny character. And he later appears in one of the other stories. And then we have 1 Foot in the Grave, which is stories. It's the ridiculousness of the idea of it. Is basically a woman loses her foot, who's a dancer, and the foot, there's some sort of mystic voodoo stuff. It comes back and kills some people. The best part about this one is probably George Stover. People will recognize him from Blood Massacre, a Don Doyler film, and he was basically a nutcase in that one. He has like the biggest head ever. I don't know what it is. It's just a big round head, and he's a podiatry foot doctor and a podiatrist, and he basically makes stupid foot pun jokes the whole time. The effects in this one are rather cheesy. I mean, it's a fucking foot, guys. Some stop motion. Think kind of bad biology, I guess, but not as complex as bad biology. But anyways, it's worth a couple laughs. George Stover, if you want to see him, he was in Blood Massacre. It's pretty funny. But the last story, Sleigh Ride, is actually, I think, the best story. It's kind of like a take on the old school slasher flicks, and it has Ruby in that one, if you guys are interested. Also, it opens up with a really hot chick with all these tattoos showering, which her tattoos were awesome. Usually I don't hate tattoos, I don't really, but they don't obsessed with them, but these tattoos fit well and they're really awesome. But anyways, she gets massacred, and the opening line, the guy cuts a chainsaw, it's pretty sweet, and it says Sleigh Ride. It's entertaining. It was a throwback to an old slasher films. But anyways, Ruby gets left home on Christmas because she's a terrible kid, and basically killer starts stalking her, or you think it's the retarded handyman, but is it really? You find out, and the ending has somewhat of a surprise, which is actually really so ridiculously over the top. It's funny. I think another Christmas comparable movie would be something like Christmas Evil, but this is just, like I said, tongue firmly in the cheek, and it shows. But anyways, that was a fun story. I actually pretty much enjoyed it. I caught myself entertained throughout. The special features are ridiculous on here. You get commentary, behind the scenes, outtakes. You even get a 30-minute view at Cinema Wasteland, which is a horror convention. I actually went to it last time, and I'm going to it this time. So, yeah, I wasn't there this time. Last time was my first time, but it was a lot of fun, and watching their video was kind of cool. They had this little monkey puppet in there, and Santa Claus. You'll have to watch the movie if you want to know why Santa Claus is at Cinema Wasteland. But anyways, it was a really fun, packed DVD. The outtakes were funny. Everything was cool, and the wraparound story has a nice little ending. It's alright. But if you like cheesy stuff, or movies with boobs, and just have a good time, then this one's definitely for you. I enjoyed it. I had a nice little laugh with it. It is Faces of Schlock. I'll show some scenes when I can. But also there's a really funny scene in there where It's like a scene that takes place when they're making the movie, like in between, and the hostess starts complaining about there being a naked shower scene. She's like, "What's this have to do with anything?" And they're using the bathroom, and this guy runs up really quick, like, "I have to shit now." And they're like, this kid talking, he's like now. It's pretty funny. You'd have to see it. But anyways, that's my review for Fish Schlock. I thought it was a pretty funny movie. I was pretty entertained with it, and I can't complain. Loads of features, some boobs, some blood, some comedy, and it's an anthology. So if you don't like one story, you got 3 or 4 more choices. So there you go. Have a good one. Bye.
Scream all you want. No one's gonna hear you.
The thing is, now I need one that doesn't have that on.
Well, my friends, it looks like the end is on our heels. We have but one more terrifying film to subject you to. A young woman is... Why is it always women?
Because we're empowering them.
Empowering them? You mean to take off their clothes? Yeah, really empowering them.
Oh yeah, we could empower someone else.
Okay, fine. A young woman is left alone at home for the holidays. When an old friend from school stops by to tutor her, strange things start to happen, and bodies pile up. Cheese and rice! This tale is called Sleigh Ride. Oh good, a pun for a change.